Hi, I'm Leslie Palma with Priests for Life, here with a pro-life news break. New FBI Director Kash Patel has provided to Congress records that show how the Biden administration's Justice Department was weaponized against Catholics, pro-lifers, and parents who voiced their opinions at school board meetings. The documents include the now retracted intelligence memo from the Richmond, Virginia FBI office that linked, quote, radical traditionalist Catholics to violent extremism. The document raised alarms about potential government surveillance of religious communities. The Biden administration's targeting of pro-life activists is evident in documents relating to 55 investigations undertaken over alleged violations of the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances, or FACE Act. 23 activists who were convicted and imprisoned for these violations have since been pardoned by President Trump. According to Just the News, Congressman Jim Jordan of Ohio has been asking for these documents for years, but his efforts were met with resistance under former FBI Director Christopher Wray. Now, under Patel, the agency was given a mandate to open up the books and engage in transparency efforts at levels never before seen, according to spokesman Ben Williamson. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton this week announced the arrest of 3 people in connection with illegal abortions allegedly being performed in a state where most babies are protected. Maria Margarita Rojas, a 48-year-old midwife, was arrested Monday for providing illegal abortions and illegally operating a network of clinics in the Northwest Houston area. She was charged with the illegal performance of an abortion, a second-degree felony, and practicing medicine without a license. On Tuesday, Paxton announced the arrest of Jose Ley, 29, who was charged with assisting Rojas in at least 1 illegal abortion. Individuals killing unborn babies by performing illegal abortions in Texas will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law, and I will not rest until justice is served, Paxton said when announcing the arrests. The nation's #1 abortion seller yesterday announced it will close its only killing center in Manhattan. Planned Parenthood of Greater New York cited financial pressures and costly needed repairs as the reason for closing the Bleecker Street abortuary. The abortion giant hopes to sell the building for $39 million. The recent closure of a Planned Parenthood facility on Staten Island means the organization will be missing from 2 of New York City's 5 boroughs. Though the national organization receives nearly $700 million in federal funding, the bulk of that money is spent on fighting laws that protect babies and their mothers, according to a recent New York Times expose that told of botched procedures, untrained staff, and deteriorating conditions at many affiliate centers. The Manhattan Center opened in 1990 and was named for organization founder Margaret Sanger, but Sanger's name was removed several years ago as the organization sought to distance itself from Sanger, an avowed racist and eugenicist. Although the Kansas legislature is dominated by pro-life Republicans, the state's Supreme Court has a pro-abortion majority, but the makeup of the court could change after the legislature this week put a question on the 2026 ballot asking voters if Supreme Court justices should have to run for election. Currently, a Supreme Court nominating commission submits candidates to Governor Laura Kelly, a pro-abortion Democrat, who has the final say about which justices are elevated to the court. In 2019, the Supreme Court ruled that the state constitution includes a right to abortion, and in 2022, voters in the state turned down a constitutional amendment that would have spelled out that there is no right to abortion in the state. Abortion is legal until 22 weeks in Kansas. The number of abortions skyrocketed after surrounding states passed laws to protect the unborn. Democrats in New Mexico passed a $1.2 billion infrastructure bill that includes $10 million in taxpayer funding for the construction of an abortion center in the north of the state. In 2023, Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham allocated $10 million to build a new killing center in Las Cruces in the southern part of the state. New Mexico is already drowning in a flood of abortion businesses that have surged into the state over the past 2 years, said Mark Cavalier, CEO of the Southwest Coalition. We are appalled and devastated by the shocking news. Since it's cheaper to kill a baby in the womb than to give birth and raise a child, Colorado is crowing about the money the state will save by allowing Medicaid and Child Health Plus insurance plans to cover abortion. Analysts say the state could save $550,000 annually by averting births. Medicaid and child health abortion coverage would begin in 2026, made possible by the passage of an amendment last November that invented a right to abortion in the state constitution. Pro-life lawmakers in Arizona are fighting back against a similar amendment passed in their state last year. A bill introduced in the House would forbid the state from entering into contracts with or awarding grants to any person or facility that provides or promotes abortions. Democrats are calling the bill a backdoor abortion ban, while Republicans say it is a way to ensure Arizona taxpayers don't have to foot the bill for abortions. We don't need state funds to support Planned Parenthood, said Representative Lupe Diaz, who sponsored the measure. And finally, a woman who had a brief fling while engaged to another man and then became pregnant took a paternity test to find out who the father of the baby was. When the results came back 98% certain it was not her fiancé, she aborted the baby at 5 months. Then she got a letter from the DNA company saying they were mistaken and that there was 0% chance her fling was the father. Now she's suing the DNA company, saying it ruined her relationship with her fiancé and took away the family she could have had. Wow. That's some of what's making news this week. Thank you for tuning in, and please remember always